Good evening. Today we're going to start with lesson 14.4, changing customary units. How do you change customary units? This will be our focus question this evening. Well, we have to kind of memorize these conversions right here. The length, the capacity, and the weight. Like 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. 1 tablespoon is equal to 3 teaspoons. 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. And there are many more ones that we could use. One of my favorite ones that I use, and when I was younger, when I was taking the test, I'd actually draw this out so it would help me. So maybe that will help you. Try to memorize this picture in your mind. Take a mental picture of it. This is gallons, quarts, pints, and cups. The G, this big G here, stands for gallons. That's 1 gallon. Each Q is a quart, and there are 4 quarts in a gallon. Inside each Q, there are 2 P's, meaning 2 pints. And then inside each P is 2 cups. The 2 C's you see there. So that means that just in 1 quart equals 4 cups. 2 pints equals 1 quart. What about how many cups are equal a gallon? Well, if we counted up all these little C's inside each of these P's, we would count 16 cups. So 1 gallon is equal to 16 cups. All right, this is how we are going to to make our conversions in our units. How many pints are in 5 quarts? Now, this is going to get a little confusing. I want you to remember, to change a larger unit into a smaller unit, we always need to multiply. It's kind of confusing, I know. We would think larger to smaller, we would divide, but it's just the opposite. Because the larger the unit, the smaller the number it's going to be. And in the smaller of the unit, it's going to have a bigger number. So let's look at this example. 5 quarts is equal to how many pints? Quart is bigger than a pint. Those 2 units. The quart is a bigger unit than the unit pint. So we know that we're going to have to multiply to get to this answer. Well, we need to think about this. 5 quarts is equal to how many pints? Well, we need to look at our G chart here and see how many quarts is equal to a pint. If we see over here, 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. So right here is going to help us solve this problem. 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. Because we're going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, we know that we are going to multiply. And here it is. 5 times 2 equals 10. So 5 quarts is equal to 10 pints. Our next one is how many feet are equal to 84 inches? Now this again, going to get a little confusing. To change a smaller unit to a larger unit, we are going to divide. Because our bigger unit, like this one, this is feet, is a bigger unit than inches. So we have to divide because this number here has to be smaller than 84 because this is a bigger unit. Well, we need to think and go refer back to our chart and locate where we have inches and feet, and it's right here. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So this is what we need to remember to help us with our conversion. We also know that we're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit. That means we have to divide. This number here has got to be smaller than 84. So if we go back to this chart, we see that 12 inches equals 1 foot. So we are going to divide 84 by 12, and we get 7 feet. Now, boys and girls, I want you to remember when we're doing this lesson, and this is what you should always be doing, you should be taking out a piece of paper when we come up to our multiple choice questions and actually solving it. Do not guess. Please take out a piece of paper, multiply or divide to help figure out the answers. So let's look at this next example. 5 tons is equal to how many pounds? This unit is bigger than pounds. So we need to remember that a bigger unit to a smaller unit, we're going to multiply, because this number has got to be bigger than this number. So let's refer to our chart, and I see over here 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So we are going to multiply 2,000 times 5, and that equals to 10,000. So 5 tons is equal to 10,000 pounds. Here's our next example. 2 gallons is equal to how many, greater than or less than? 2 gallons is greater than or less than 24 cups. So this one is going to be a little different. We need to actually convert this one of the sides. So I'm just going to choose to convert the gallons into cups instead of cups into gallons. So remember, we're going from a big unit to a small unit. We are going to multiply. Bigger to small, multiply. So we need to refer back to our G chart here, or we could refer to this chart. And we know that there are 16 cups equal 1 gallon. So we need to multiply. We need to take 16 and multiply it with 2. And we get 32 cups. So 32 cups is greater than 24 cups. We do not need to convert the side. We only needed to convert one side to figure this out. Our next example, 18 teaspoons is equal to how many tablespoons? So we're going from a small unit of measure to a big unit of measure. So small to big, we are going to divide. This number has got to be less than this number because this is a bigger unit of measure. So let's refer back to our chart. 1 tablespoon is equal to 3 teaspoons. So we are going to divide by 3. 18 divided by 3 equals 6. 18 teaspoons is equal to 6 tablespoons because this number has to be smaller than this number. Okay, you might want to press pause on this video and go and get yourself a paper and a pen, a pencil. I want you to be writing this out. So pause the video and go get a paper and pencil. Okay, let's see how much you've learned. I hope you have that paper and pencil. All right, so we want to know 4 pints is equal to how many quarts? Remember, larger units to smaller units, we multiply. Smaller units to larger units, we divide. And please use the charts that are given to help figure out the answer. Here's our next question. 60 inches is equal to how many feet? You can use this chart as a guide to help you, but please make sure you're using paper and pencil to help figure this out. Remember, larger unit to smaller unit, we multiply. Smaller unit to larger unit, we divide. I hope I'm I could see, if I was a little fly on your wall, I could see lots of work on that paper happening. Here's the next one. 2 miles is greater than, less than, or equal to 2,000 yards. Remember with this question, you only need to figure out one side. You could figure out the miles side or the yards. So miles to yards are yards to miles. Choose one of the sides to convert. Use the chart to help you. All right, 3 pounds is equal to how many ounces? Remember, larger units to smaller units, we multiply. Smaller units to larger units, we divide. And use the chart to help you. You guys are awesome. I know this was a challenging lesson, but please go back, rewind, and remember the different strategies that I taught you this evening. All right, have a good night.